All right, so this is going to be a raw video. I have John here, and he's making $300,000 a year as a cloud engineer. And we're going to talk about his experience, just everything. So we're in Miami. We're on a yacht for this special event. And I wanted to kind of use this opportunity to talk about his life, his update, how the job is, and just kind of give like an inside scoop for anybody interested in cloud engineering. And so, John, go ahead and introduce yourself, and start with how you started to who you are and how you got into cloud.
Okay. All right. So my name is John, and originally I've always kind of done work with my hands or trade work, valet, kind of just about everything. But one thing I never tried was IT, and I actually said I would never do it because I was one of those people. I said I don't want to sit at a computer all day. That's just too boring for me. But I met Tayo in Miami a few years ago, and he tried to get me into IT, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Like that don't interest me. And when I saw how much money he was making, I said, well, maybe if it's making a lot of money, I might have to give that a shot because he was doing really well, and we were kind of going to the beach, and he would just bring his computers in his backpack, and he was working a few jobs while we were just kind of going out to get food, and he would do maybe like 10 or 20 minutes worth of work, maybe a few times throughout the day. So I was thinking, well, if he's doing that well and he's just barely working, I'm going to give this a shot. So
and then
that's how I ended up getting into it.
So John, thank you for that, and I want to emphasize the point where I was looking for a skill set where I can make a lot of money and work less and have a lot of time freedom, but then also make a lot of money to actually enjoy what life has to offer. And so, do you feel like this career that you've chosen kind of gives you that money abundance? Like, how is the financial aspect of your life right now?
It's a lot better. So for a little while I was making $300,000, and that was from getting multiple jobs. And the thing is, since there's not always 8 hours of work to do, it gives you more time to work multiple jobs if you choose to do that. And since most of them are going to be either hybrid or remote, and you're not having to drive into an office, it kind of just gives you more of your time back.
And I wanna ask, like, how much money have you seen in 1 month in terms of like working these different jobs?
So if you're talking about gross, it'll be 25,000 is the most I made in a month.
What about after tax? Like, what actually hits your bank account?
After tax is about 1,600-ish.
1,600 or
about 16,000.
16,000.
Yeah.
And then let me say. And so I want to talk about, like, even though the stuff is amazing in terms of like, the money you can make, the time freedom, it's crazy, it's amazing. But I always tell people I don't want to sell people a dream. Not everybody can actually do this. And so I want to talk about the person, Stormy, who he is or who he had to become to actually make this a reality. Now, once again, the money is amazing, the freedom is amazing, but not everybody can do this. And so do you feel like, the type of person who you had to become was somebody that can overcome challenges, somebody that can, that can face adversity? And so, for example, I have a lot of people that I talk to, they think that, hey, I don't have any experience, or like, hey, I don't have any certifications, or I don't have a college degree, right? They kind of, set limitations on themselves. And so can you talk about your experience in terms of like your degree, your certifications, if you have any, and then were you able to overcome obstacles when you actually were in the program?
Yeah, so right now I have no certifications, and I don't plan on getting any unless I work for a company that maybe needs me to do it for compliance reasons. And then I don't have any degrees either. I just have my high school education.
And then did you have any experience in tech before working with me? Like, what was your experience?
No experience in tech at all.
Did you have any? What did you know about computers?
I really didn't know a whole lot. I just knew how to turn it on and browse the internet a little bit. I didn't know how to do any of the technical stuff. I didn't know how to fix them if anything went wrong.
Okay. And so pretty much like no degree, no certifications, no experience in tech or even about computers. A lot of people would be like, I don't think I can get a job as a cloud engineer because I don't have a degree, certifications, experience. What made you actually feel like you can do this?
Just because all you have to do is really just sit down and learn the information, if you're brand new, it may not always be the most easy, but you're kind of just reading through a lot of information and then, doing little practice labs on your computer. And as long as you just don't give up, at some point you're going to learn it no matter how hard it might feel. And that's what I did it took me probably about 6 months to land the first offer letter, and it was pretty hard learning it, but that's a lot faster than, the alternative route where you take years to get there. So it's worth the hard work for a few months if you're willing to put in the time.
Okay. And then what was, kind of like the difference in your life now? Before you were, working with your hands, you're making okay money. But what's like the biggest difference now in your life? Like, what is something that's like, wow, like this is really amazing?
I would say the biggest difference is maybe a steady income and also a lot more of it. So beforehand, it's not really a tech thing. It's more so just the entire job market. No matter what job you're doing, it feels like you have to put in like a million resumes. But now I'm able to kind of get a job just about any time I need to. And let's say I got fired today, I could probably land a job within 2 to 4 weeks, because there's systems to make it a lot faster. Back when I was not doing tech, it kind of took a while to find jobs just because I didn't have like a system to follow.
And do you feel like for the rest of your life you can always like have a job in terms of making six figures? How is that process like? Do you have like money coming to you, opportunities coming to you? Do you feel like you can always make $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, from the skill set that you learned through the program?
Yeah, so I can always, if I need to, get another job, and I'm just following kind of the blueprint where you structure all your online profiles like LinkedIn and Indeed to be very attractive and have specific buzzwords, how to catch the algorithm, so that way you have recruiters coming into you. I have put in some resumes before, but all of my jobs that I've gotten have all been, recruiters reaching out to me. So it makes it a lot easier when you're not the one kind of chasing.
I was going to touch on that in terms of like the different opportunities you got, whether recruiters reach out to you or, and we kind of talked about this already. But what do you feel like? What would you say to somebody watching this video who's interested in making more money in tech? Let's say they're at $70,000, $120,000, anywhere from $70,000 to $120,000, and they want to get to that $300,000 mark like you. They want to get to that $500,000 mark. What would you say? What would you say to somebody watching this video right now who's probably on the fence about joining the 1% University?
I would say if you're going to try to do it on your own, there's definitely resources out there and lots of free info. But joining something where there's also the framework, but then also the community, the human touch to it, they can kind of speed run that to you. So instead of trying it on your own and taking a while, they kind of just give you the steps and you just have to follow it. So it just makes it a lot faster than if you were to kind of do it on your own.
Okay. And so that's pretty much it. Like, I'm not going to edit this video at all. I want it to be like very authentic, like as we're literally shaking on the boat right now. But I wanted to use this opportunity to have Stormy talk about his experience. I think this is his third or fourth testimonial video, but I wanted to, Stormy did not know anything about tech. He didn't know even what a hard drive was, and he was able to go from where he is, where he was to where he is now, and it's unbelievable. Like, I have an IT degree, I have certifications, and I was still driving Uber Eats at 2 a.m. in the morning, like making $10 an hour. And so Stormy was able to go from where he was to $300,000 a year, making $16,000 a month after tax with a step-by-step blueprint. If you are making anywhere from $70,000 to $120,000 a year, and you're trying to figure out how to break that income ceiling to $300K, $500,000 a year, go ahead and click the first link in the description below to apply for the program. We don't accept just anybody. This is only for people who is committed right into the blueprint so they can get the results. Go ahead and click the first link in the description below to apply, and I'll see you on the other side. 1%.